Keeper here. So if you're still grinding away at the missions to get the Agincourt, then well, I'm going to show you here what kind of ship it is. And it's fairly good. I don't really think it's anything special, but it's good. So don't forget to like, subscribe and share if you enjoyed this video. So this ship's claim to fame, so to speak, is the fact that it has no less than 7 turrets, each turret having 2 barrels, meaning it has 14 guns. They're only 305 millimeters though, so it's not like you're gonna get like a massive up in caliber down here in tier 3, and this is tier 3, so I don't really spend a lot of time down here. I don't know if many people do actually, because every time I play down here I just find it a bit unfair, because most people in tier 1, 2, 3, I mean, they're new at the game and they haven't played it before, and really they don't really know what they're doing, to be honest. And here's me in like a new premium battleship with like totally upgraded commanders and 3 years of experience. So that's also the reason you don't see many videos on this channel where I am below what is probably tier 7, really. Sometimes tier 6 and once in a while tier 5, but any lower than that it's unusual. So if you play through all the missions you will get the ship, and as such it's kind of a free ship in some ways, and in other ways it's not, because if you miss out on a mission you have to buy it using doubloons, so you could end up paying for this ship. And I don't know, I don't think this ship is worth paying for, to be honest. It doesn't really strike me as something fantastic. I mean, it's definitely above average, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, yeah, it's a tier 3 battleship, and that's really all it is. So if you've been keeping track on the score at home, it's Cruiser 0, Agincourt 2. And that's what I mean by, playing down here at these tiers here. It's there's not a lot of resistance really, and I mean, yeah, I don't really know what to say. It's tier 3, and if you like easy gameplay, well, this is where you should go then. I mean, battleships rule supreme down here up until tier 5 really, and like the cruisers down here at tier 1, 2, 3, 4, they are just all asking to be sunk by battleships, and that's usually what happens. The destroyers are also not very good. There's the kamikaze, pretty much the only destroyer that I really worry about down here. It's not so much because it's a destroyer, it's more to do with the fact that the destroyer players down here, they're usually not that experienced, just like this, what you're watching now, and it doesn't really take a lot of effort to just not get torqued, really. It's quite easy. And if you put those things together, lots of inexperienced players, quite restrained ships in general. I mean, you cannot just do the same things you can do at tier 7. Also, there's not a lot of variety, and you don't get a lot of consumables. Like there's no radar cruisers, for example, and most destroyers, they just get smoke and that's it. And the cruisers get sonar if they're lucky, and that's it. And it just doesn't create the best gameplay, I think, especially when you're used to the more like the many ways you can have fun up at the higher tiers, at tier 7 and legendary. Down here you can just play really one way, and that's good if you're a battleship player, because really nothing changes from tier 3 all the way up to legendary tier. It's all about, don't show broadside, don't get torqued. That's it. It's not like the battleships get like a lot of new fancy equipment or anything like that. Nah, it's pretty much the same thing. So when I play down here, I usually play the Yubari or I play a battleship, because it's just what makes sense. Now, talking about that, like the AA on this ship here is awful. I played a few battles, and once you get harassed by a carrier, like a tier 3 carrier, which is usually not a problem at all, they can just go on and on and on and torp you or bomb you, whatever they're doing. Yeah, I'm just saving that battleship over there from the Jaguar because we don't want him to torp him. But like I was saying, they can just go to town on you, those carriers, and you can't really do anything about it. And that's probably the biggest downside to this ship here, because that got really annoying very, very quickly, really. So, I mean, if you do the missions and you don't pay any doubloons at all, well, then I think you can go and say score, because, I mean, you get a free premium. It's only a tier 3 and it's decent, nothing wrong with it, but, I mean, it's not a Shambao or anything like that. One thing I will mention, though, is that the secondaries on this thing are actually pretty good. You can go with a secondary build on the ship and actually do well, which is unusual. And I don't know if you noticed earlier when the destroyer was approaching me, the secondaries kicked off, and they actually work quite well on this ship here at tier 3. It's just, I mean, if you want to do a secondary build, you can also do it on Nassau, and that, in all honesty, probably works a little bit better. But you can do a secondary build on Agincourt, and it'll work fine. And like I said, I actually use the secondaries a lot in the ship when I'm playing, especially when I'm taking on destroyers. I just get within that 5.2 kilometer radius there, get the secondaries firing, and then I pop the secondary boost on, and that usually makes them run away. And well, that works really well. So I'd say that's another plus with this ship here. But again, Nassau can do the same thing, or Arkansas for that matter as well. I will say though that if you go down to tier 5, tier 4, and perhaps even tier 3, I think the gameplay as a battleship is actually more fun because they're just so much more powerful down here. Like I said before, the cruisers, they just get pushed around. Like, none of them have armor enough to do anything really, and they always have to hide all the time, and none of them have enough real torpedo prowess to go hunting for battleships. I mean, you can use them in pinch in self-defense, but cannot do what Hibbert does, where it actually actively hunts battleships with torpedoes. Can't be done. So battleships, they just they really have no natural enemy down here other than the destroyers. And then, like I said before, the players are usually not that experienced. So yeah, the battleships, they just have it too easy down here, and that's one of the reasons why I don't really like to play down here. Because first of all, there's no agile cruisers, and that's another problem because the cruisers don't have the armor to actually play fair down here. They just get slapped around by battleships all the time, and the rudders are at 6-7 seconds or something like that. So you cannot even slap an agile build on your cruiser and then take advantage of the slow reload on the battleships down here. That's not possible either. So again, why would you play anything down here other than a battleship? It's a bit of a mystery, really. So we're nearing the end of this battle here. There's just this very unlucky Wyoming in here who's just decided to enter the cap all by himself here in the final minutes of the game, and he's now all alone. So I'm just going to shoot at him, really. And as much fun as this ship is, it's not a ship I would, cry myself to sleep if I didn't get, because it's just another battleship, really. Yeah, it's got decent secondaries, as you can see here. I'm just trying to get the kill here using my secondaries instead of my main guns, because they're going to take too long to reload. And I was like, oh, come on. But nope, only 2 kills for you. But we did get high caliber, and we did get Confederate, so we've certainly done our job. So hope you enjoyed this video here, people, and I'll see you out there.